great about that, other than trying to help people who are in a state of invasion.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. This is the Immigration Answer Show, and my name is Jim Hacking. This is episode number 765, and it is February 19th, 2024. Hina, thanks for letting me in. I was locked out. I was on the waiting room earlier, and then Monty kicked me off the computer, and then I was out. So let me go ahead and share the link, but I'll tell you, the room is filling up before the show starts. So it's unlikely we're going to get to more than 10 people a time. So if that banner is wrong. Today's not Wednesday. Is it Wednesday? Today's Wednesday? Is it really? Oh, geez. I thought it was Thursday. All right. Today is Wednesday, February 19th, and this is episode 765. Thank you to Hina for getting me back in the room. I appreciate it. How are you guys all doing? What's going on? Let's see who's here. HR is here. Whistleen is here. Hello, hello. Marsh Higgs is here. Bacher is here. Nikki, hello. Hello, Lindy. Christopher. Hope, hello, Hope. Dr. C in the house. Caro is here. Ish is here. Sadiq, hello. Nurse Laura in the house. Tyrone. Natalie. Justin is here. Yassine is here. All right. Nene is here. We got Bama in the house. Christine is here. We got Tampa. Hello, Raphael. How you doing? Robert saying sup to all the players. We got Atlanta in the house. We got London. We got planes falling from the sky. Yes, we do. I've never seen an upside down plane on the runway. Have you guys? Shauna is here. Alejandra is hoping that it's warm. I can't believe it's Wednesday. I thought for sure today was Thursday. What the hell's going on? Imani's laughing at me. Living in Houston is here. Ben from Dallas. Hello. Texas is well represented. We got Ish, Marianella, Christian. I definitely thought it was Thursday. I don't know. I thought that was wrong. I thought that was yesterday's post. All right, let's go to Went Fishing. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Pretty good, Jim. Thanks for picking me. Long time listener. First time you picked me.
Nice.
I'll get to the point. I have a friend that came over from Mexico with his mom when he was about 5. She fixed her status, but he still hasn't fixed his. I believe he's still under protection of I-245 or 245I. My friend got married, and he's been married with his wife for about 10 years, and he's looking to file to fix his status. He came with his mom when he was 5, so but she got pardoned or whatever, fixed. What options does my friend have?
So we know for sure. So 245I means that somebody filed an application for his benefit back before early 2000. Are you saying that there's some application from back in the day that was filed with his name on it? Probably
Yes.
for his mom. And
Yes.
now he's married to a U.S. citizen?
Yes, for 10 years. And
What is he
they have
waited?
3 kids.
What has he waited for?
Decisiveness, and I think a lot of people scared him because they told him he had to leave the country, and he didn't know who to believe, so he just left it alone, I believe.
Well, if he's subject to 245I, then he doesn't have to leave the country. So if you want to connect me to him, have him send us an email, info@hackingimmigrationlaw.com. Just have him put 245I and say, hey, I'm Went Fishing's friend, and I believe that I'm eligible for 245I. I'm married to a U.S. citizen. I mean, it would have been better to do it before, but let's get it going.
Okay, so do you think it would be, obviously, it's something that he has to do? Would you suggest getting that started or waiting till Trump is out of
No.
office?
No, not something like this. I'd go ahead and get started. As long as he's qualified under 245I, it should be a pretty straightforward adjustment case. So he should have done it a long time ago. But yeah, this isn't something that this isn't high on his list of priorities right now. I would go ahead and get started.
Okay, I will have my friend reach out to you. Thank you, Jim.
Thanks, brother. See ya.
Thank you.
You got it. Let's go to Clive. Clive, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
How you doing?
You hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay, so I have been a green card holder since 2001, but I had problems finding a job when I got that green card because I was at a reasonably advanced stage, and also my qualifications were all British-based, so it weren't accepted here in the US and stuff like that. So I continued to work in my home country and came back and forth. There were years I would come in like 5 times a year. But as time passed, that tailed off to once, sometimes, twice generally, sometimes once. One year I came in, I think it would have been 2023. It was after all the problems with COVID and so on. And I was really careless, and I was away for like 7 months. And when I came in, the immigration officer, of course, scolded me, and also said she was noting something in my record. So I don't know if there's something in there regarding that late or that long 7-month time out. And now I have to travel back to that home country because I have a project, a financial project that I'm working on. I could earn a fair, decent return from it. So I'm not sure what to do. I was scheduled to fly out on Saturday, and I thought maybe I should postpone that trip, So I don't know what your advice is.
So from an immigration standpoint, you should not leave the United States until you become a citizen. So
Okay.
you broke your continuous residence with that 7-month visit. So you can apply 4 years and 1 month, 4 years and 1 day after you arrived from that 7-month trip.
So there would have been a notation on my record with respect to that.
Well, you broke residency, whether it's noted in there or not. To me, the noting goes to whether or not they're going to give you a harder time when you come back through customs.
Well, I did travel. I came in like maybe 2 or 3 times after that, and without any difficulty.
That's true. But what happens if you can't come back in?
Yeah. So I was wondering too, would it help if I got a entry permit, if I tried to put that in place?
Yeah. I mean, you're going to have to wait a year for that. That takes a year to come.
Okay.
So yeah, it would help. But I'm telling you, if I were you and I couldn't afford to be outside the United States, I couldn't afford to lose my green card, I wouldn't leave until I'm a citizen.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, thanks.
Thanks, Clive. Good luck. All right. Mr. Vinicius, if you turn off your camera, I'll pull you up next. There he is. Hi, Vinicius.
Hi, Jimmy. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. How you doing?
Good, thank you. I appreciate you. I have applied for a T visa through some issues that I've had with work before, and it's been almost 2 years that the USCIS has been reviewing my case. And according to them, they say my case is very sensitive, and they do not discuss anything over the phone or over the online chat that they have on the website. The tier 1 and tier 2 agents, none of them discuss anything. They advise me to send them letters, but they don't reply to anything at all. So I was able to discover recently that I applied to the T visa. So I was able to discover that they are reviewing my case as VAWA, something I believe they might have transferred among their internal system. So I know that there are different strategies to apply to a green card via the T visa and via VAWA. So the requirements are different to apply for the green card under those two categories. And I was wondering if, because for the VAWA, I don't need to wait for the application to be approved. I could apply right away. But I don't know if I should wait, or because the T visa, for me to apply for a green card with the T visa, I have to wait 3 years after the T visa is approved, but not the VAWA. But since I apply for T visa and they are reviewing as VAWA, how do you see this?
What evidence do you have that they're not processing your case correctly?
So the evidence that I have is that I had the conversation with a tier 2 agent. They couldn't tell me much about my case, but I have a letter just one letter that I received from them. And I also have contact that is shown as VAWA. So I also
What contact? I mean, I don't believe anything that they say. So if you're telling me in the online portal at some point it indicated you're a VAWA case, or you got some receipt that said it was a VAWA case, to me that means nothing. They say things that are wrong all the time. So I would spend zero time thinking about this. T visas take a really long time. There's only 5,000 available every year. I wouldn't worry about this unless the receipt notice that they sent back to you said it was a VAWA case instead of saying it was a T visa case. Did they have it right on the receipt notice?
No, the receipt notice shows as T visa because that's what I applied for. But one of the letters that they sent to me, it shows that it was being seen as a VAWA. In fact, the signature on the bottom, like the signature with the name of the agent and all that. So it says the VAWA department, something like that.
Yeah,
so
I would spend no time thinking about this.
No, at all. So I have contacted the district, my representative, his office of my district to contact about it. Yeah. But because I have been trying to join the military, so I have issued, I got a memorandum from the military that I requested them to, get an expedite of my case. But not even that helps. They
can't expedite it. There's a cap on the number of T visas available every year, and there's just a backlog of people in line ahead of you. So there's no way to expedite it, even if they wanted to. There's just people in line ahead of you.
Yeah, but I saw on the website the information about the cap. They have never been for the T visa has never been reached. It is on their website.
Well, just so you know, I've never handled a T visa, so I'm only telling you based on what I know about USCIS generally. I don't know anything about T visas other than what they're for.
Okay. All right. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Good luck, Vinicius.
Thank you.
See you, buddy. All right. Let's go to Jonathan. Hello, Jonathan.
Hey, Jim. How are you?
Good, buddy. How are you doing?
Yeah, good. Thank you. You were getting confused Tuesday, Wednesday at the beginning. If you play back your intro, you actually said February 19th, 2024. That's how crazy it is.
I believe you.
I have a friend who is married. He's been married for about 5 years. He got 3 kids, so it should be an easy, very well-established marriage. He's here on an F1 visa. His wife's American. His wife was born in LA. He's Israeli. She moved with her parents to Israel, and then got married, had a couple of kids. They moved here around 2 years ago. So he came in on his F1 visa. She came in with her U.S. passport and U.S. citizen children. They've had a child since they're here. He now wants to file for a change of status. My question is, considering the fact that they have he's here properly and they have a long marriage history, is the burden as high as somebody who came in and 2-3 months later got married and filed? Number one. And number two is, he went out of the country. He went to Israel recently on a 1-week trip. Does he still have to? Should he still wait 60 or 90 days, or because he's been living, he has a home here and he's been living here for a couple of years, and his wife's American, he can just file straight away? Oh, Jim, you're muted.
Sorry, I would wait. I would still wait the 60 days to apply. Okay.
And then when he files, would you send him the same? Would you hold him to the same stand in terms of marital evidence he's sending in, or if they got 3 kids together, being married for 5 years, USCIS are going to be more relaxed about the how genuine the marriage is?
Why would you ask that question?
Just because how much work is involved in putting it together. He doesn't have money to pay for an attorney, so I'm trying to help him. So I've told him obviously photos and all the documents he needs. But his question, do you do like 100 pages or 25 pages?
Yeah, I mean, 3 kids, obviously, and a 10-year marriage, that's something that they're not really used to. So I would say they're going to be pretty satisfied with that and probably not require much more, but I would still do my due diligence.
Okay. And what you're saying, so wait till he's been here for 60 days before filing, basically.
For sure.
All right. Thank you so much.
Bye, Jonathan. See you, buddy. All right. That was our friend Jonathan. Always liked seeing Jonathan on camera, but you know how it is now. All right. People got bumped out of the waiting room. I'm sorry. The best thing to do is to wait until just when I kick out the last caller to go. So let's say hi to Justin. Hi, Justin.
Hey, Jim. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, buddy. What's up?
Awesome, man. Cool. So here's my situation, man. I found you on YouTube, saw a video, and wanted to come on the call and ask you. My wife, we just got married last week. She came from Mexico 6 months ago on a B1, B2 visa.
Congratulations.
And thank you so much, man. We wanted to marry before, like, I guess that last 6-month date. So we did it like 4 days before. I'm like super new, trying to do all this right. But after we married, we did the I-130 and I mailed that. But then when I heard your video, I noticed you said to not even do that, to do the I-485, I believe it's called. So then I was just confused because I had already submitted the I-130 and now I'm like stuck with the other ones. So could you lead me in what should I do?
You did the I-130 electronically?
Correct.
So you have a receipt notice?
I do.
So you want to apply. So the I-130 in and of itself doesn't do her any good. It doesn't get her any kind of status, okay?
Okay.
So, and you're a U.S. citizen, Justin?
Correct, yeah.
So you need to file a 485 application for her. That's her application to adjust her status from B1, B2, now overstay, to green card applicant, adjustment of status applicant. And then I would also be sure to file for an I-765. That's her work card. Even if she's not going to work, I'd still get it for her because that's her best proof of status while the green card case is pending. Okay. You could apply for advanced parole, which is an I-131, if you think she's going to leave while the green card case is pending. But I would say that if I were you, I would just wait till she actually gets her green card. Most people never get their advanced parole, and it's, in my mind, a waste of money unless she has some sick family members or something.
No, she doesn't. Yeah, we're good with that.
And then you have to sign an affidavit of support. It's an I-864, which means you need to submit your proof of current employment and your tax returns for 24, 23, and 22.
Got it.
And then she has, the last thing is she has to do this medical exam. You have to type in the word civil surgeon into Google, and then there'll be a USCIS website. You put in your zip code, and then I would call around and figure out where she can do her vaccinations and her medical exam, because there'll be different prices and different timelines for how quickly they can turn it around. So then you put all that together along with more evidence of the relationship, and you send that all off by Federal Express with that I-130 receipt notice that you have in the portal, and then she's officially applying for adjustment.
Okay, but that all starts with the initial application of the 485.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's like the stuff I send with the 485, you're saying?
All that stuff I just mentioned. Mm-hmm.
Okay, and is that like in there, or is that just something that I need to rewind this call and get it all?
Yeah, those are all separate forms. You got to find them on USCIS's website.
Okay, so I wrote down I-864. Yeah, the 45.
45, 765.
765.
864.
864.
And you said you're not going to do an affidavit of support, so you don't need that. And then the 693 will be from the doctor.
Okay, and then you said I wrote down I-131, but that one is the one to leave the country or something?
Yeah, you're skipping that one.
Okay, cool. So there's 3 forms in addition to the 485. Is that right?
Sounds like it. Yep.
Okay. Perfect, man. And then I just do that. Like I just did the I-130, so I did that for nothing. The $630 is for nothing, pretty much.
No. What I would have done if I were you is I would have filed the I-130 on paper, and you still have to pay the $630. So you didn't waste that money.
All right.
Your position.
Okay.
She doesn't get a green card if you don't file that. So you just did it a little backwards, but that's fine.
Okay, all right. And then the receipt of notice also gets mailed with that 485 on FedEx.
For sure. That's the most important thing. Otherwise, they're not going to tie the two cases together.
And the reason for mailing it is so that I don't have to do it electronically, you're saying?
Well, you can't file a 485 electronically yet. And the reason I do the I-130 on paper is so that it all goes into one submission and they don't send things off in different directions, which they sometimes.
Okay. And the sooner the better, right? Like, so.
Yeah, because she's out of status. Yep.
Yeah, she's out of status. Okay. All right, cool. Perfect, man. Thank you so much, Jim.
Remember, don't open the medical. You got to send that to them sealed.
Oh, the one from okay, that's good to know.
Ask them for an extra copy, but don't unseal the one.
Okay, perfect, man. Thank you so much, Jim.
Hey, bud. Yep, peace.
See you, man.
All right, I got all my favorite people talking to each other. I got Nurse Laura talking to Brent. I got TLTs in the house. What's going on? My buddy Brent took my son Ibrahim out snowmobiling over the weekend. Wouldn't that be fun across Lake Minnetonka? Would you guys like to do that? I think I'd like to do that. That would be fun. Usually we just do jet skiing in the summertime, but snowmobiling would be fun, I think. What's going on, everybody? This is the Immigration Answer Show. We're 21 minutes in. Somebody said the audio wasn't good, so I took off my earpods. I don't know where my AirPods are. I think they're out in the car. But we got 4 inches of snow today, so I'm not going outside. Dammy's here, lurking. All right, I'm kicking Justin out, so you might be able to get in the waiting room. There he goes. Ito is here. Hello. Ito, you there? I can't hear you. Hello, Ito. Something's wrong with your audio, Ito. Sorry about that. GA in the house. Hello, GA.
Hey, Jim, this is Abraham. Thanks so much for taking my call. I just have 3 questions for you. Are you able to hear me?
I got you.
Okay, perfect. Hey, my son is getting married. He's a U.S. citizen. He's getting married in July to a U.K. citizen in India. So we're going to try to file the I-130 in the beginning of August. But there's a wedding or a family function in New York that he's hoping to have his wife come and visit. It's about 1 month after the wedding. And so I know that they don't need a visa, but they need that ESTA. I've kind of, from watching your videos, I've kind of advised him that it may be a risky venture for her to even come. And because, at the port of entry, they may refuse her at that time. So she's going to bring documentation. She's a doctor in UK. She's going to bring documentation saying that she has to go back to work and then a return ticket. What is your advice? Also, he was saying that he wanted to bring her for Thanksgiving, but I'm on the fence that, maybe he should just wait until that time. And my only concern is that even if we file the I-130, it might not be in the system.
So is the idea that she's going to stay in Great Britain until she gets approved for her immigrant visa?
That is the plan, because she still has to do some of her fellowship and stuff. Mm-hmm. So there's an F1 and F2 that she has to complete.
Okay. And she's a British national.
Correct.
So she has a British passport. So the idea is that when she comes to visit the United States, she would do so through ESTA on her British passport.
Correct.
And there's a trip that's going to happen a month after they get married in England, right?
No, it's in New York.
I'm sorry. They're getting married in England, right?
They're getting married in India, but she'll be going back to it, huh?
Okay. So this sounds like I need a map, but okay. So she lives in England. They're going to both meet in India and get married.
Correct.
And then your son's going to come back to the United States and file an I-130 petition for her.
Yes.
But a month after they get married in India, she wants to come to the United States for a wedding for somebody else in New York.
Correct.
Okay. So first of all, I would wait to file the I-130 until after that trip.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
That does make sense.
I mean, we have to acknowledge, and your son should acknowledge, that once they get married in India, she's not just a British national anymore. Now she's a British national who's married to a U.S. citizen who they think is lying to them and just wants to come to the United States to get her green card, even though she's a successful doctor and has every reason to go back to England. Okay?
Correct.
No matter no matter her credentials and no matter the fact that that is a fact, they're still going to think she's like everybody else and just trying to sneak her way into the United States. So I would want to minimize her entries into the United States.
Correct.
So I would see how the first one goes. And then when she leaves, I'd file the I-130. And then I'd probably go see her. I would celebrate. I'd have a big old British Thanksgiving. Hey, King George. Hey, King George, we're having Thanksgiving over here this year. I would really try to cut down on her coming to the United States.
Correct. The other question is, if at the port of entry they ask her, who is she coming here to see? I mean, she would have to be truthful to say, I'm here to see my husband. And, they'll ask her, did you file the I-130? And do we just say we're going to we're planning on filing it and then just take whatever comes at that time?
And I have a round trip ticket and I have to be at work on Tuesday and I'm just coming for this wedding. And I know that I could try to cook up some scheme to stay here and get a green card, but I'm a doctor. I still have to do F1 and F2, whatever the hell that is. And then convince them that she has every reason to go back to England.
Got it. I just have one more question for you, if you have just a second.
The
other question is, involves my wife. She has two brothers that she petitioned for in 2008. So in August 2010, we got a request from USCIS for further documentation, which we provided. And then we received an I-797 in September 10th saying that the petition has been approved and with a priority date of May 26, 2008. But, just going back to the USCIS online thing to check updates and case status, it's still referencing that request from August 2010, even though we have the paper. Is there any concern on our part?
Zero.
Okay. Thank you so much, Jim. I appreciate all your time. Thank you so much.
For sure. Don says, we Brits don't do Thanksgiving. Of course, that's why I was making the joke. But what I was saying is it'd be better if he, the U.S. citizen, went over to England to hang out over Thanksgiving break than trying to bring her here to the United States. All right. How do I take that off? There we go. All right. Let's go to Tom. Hi, Tom. Tom, are you there? All right.
Oh.
There he is, Tom.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead, buddy.
Oh, great. So I met a beautiful person from Venezuela, and we've been dating for 3 months, and we're getting engaged.
Is that her in your picture there?
It is.
She is beautiful.
Yeah. So she emigrated from Venezuela and went to Costa Rica. She got declined for refugee status in Costa Rica, and then she came up through Mexico and she illegally entered the border.
Mm-hmm.
Then since she was from Venezuela, she got a humanitarian parole permit back in April 2022.
Yeah.
She has a work permit now, which is due to expire May of 2025.
Mm-hmm.
She's put in the renewal. We put that in this month. That gives us 3 months for that to come back. I know you're supposed to do it for 6 months to guarantee you get it, but that's when we could financially afford it.
Okay.
So she qualified for TPS, but the extension to 2026 got revoked with Trump. So she also has filed for asylum, but she hasn't gotten a date yet. And so some of the things to show that she's here, she's filed taxes in 2023 and 2024. So we just finished her taxes for this year. So I'm trying to do all these things right and not miss timelines and, be careful about how to apply and things like that. She does have an attorney who has applied for the permits and whatnot, but I found you and have been watching videos and trying to get schooled on all of this and try to do the right things. So she usually goes to see ICE once a year. Mm-hmm. Is that a good idea at this point?
Sure, she has to. If they're telling her to, she has to. Yeah. What's the long-term plan?
The long-term plan is I wanted to know, so that we get married, and I'd like to get married in September. That would be a natural course for me. Yeah. But if I need to legally get married before, say, the work permit expires, we could certainly do that. But I'm trying to see what are hard dates for me and what are not hard dates, because I feel like she's in status, but I'm new to all of this.
No, you are new to it, but it is relatively shaky. So I will just say this, Tom, you are navigating some of the most complex, fast changing immigration stuff that I've seen in my 14 years of being an immigration attorney. So I think you're doing a great job. That being said, to me, the big thing is I'd want to see her parole document to see if she's going to be able to adjust through you. I think she probably can.
Okay.
But before we put all our eggs in that basket, I think that I'd like to see that. So if you want to email it to me, I'll take a look at it and tell you whether I think she's good to go or not.
Okay.
I mean, right now, when does her TPS run out?
Her TPS, well, I don't know. The TPS that she filed for, she got notification, and I can send you that document too. And I don't know. The only thing I was aware of, and I've been trying to be as detailed as I can because I wanted to bring you all the dates and everything once I got on the show.
You're doing great.
So I know she was very excited because it came in January of this year, and then everything changed where she thought she was going to be extended and not be able to be deported until September 2026. But then we went to the website and saw that she that's been revoked. The other thing I saw was it was important that you apply for that you emigrate first to a pass-through state before you come to the United States. So I was glad to hear that she had applied in Costa Rica, before she crossed the border in Mexico.
What was her date of entry?
Her date of entry was April 15th, 2022.
Perfect. So the big thing there is that she's been here for more than 2 years, which means she's not subject, to expedited removal. So that's good. So that means that worst comes to worst, she gets to see an immigration judge. They can't just put her on a plane, right? So that's one thing that makes us feel better. Okay.
Okay, good.
The other thing is, if you said her asylum case has been receipted.
No, well, I mean, it got applied for. She hasn't gotten a court date yet.
Right. But did she get a receipt for it?
Oh, yeah. I believe so. I mean, I'll double check, but yeah, I believe so.
That's the I-589. So again, they can't deport her if she has a 589 on file, right?
Okay.
Again, without seeing a judge. So, I mean.
So she has to get declined for the asylum before they can even then take her to deportation court or whatever the other steps are.
No, she's in deportation court. So asylum works two ways. So one is if you're in the United States and you haven't been caught by ICE and you aren't in proceedings. I mean, maybe she's not in proceedings, but did she file it? Yeah, she must be in proceedings. So she's probably in proceedings is what I'm saying. So that means all she has is asylum as a defense to deportation. Most likely she's in deportation, but yeah, they have to have does she have like a master calendar hearing? Have you ever heard of that?
No, I've never heard of that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, like I said, I can take a look at your paperwork. We can see if she's in proceedings. I think she probably is. If she got paperwork back on the I-589, that's really what I need to see, because that's what gives us some breathing room and might get you to September where you can get married on your natural timeline like you wanted. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah. I just, we definitely are going to celebrate the marriage with the people. And, this is my second marriage, and like, I'm very excited about it. As much as I want to make sure I don't misstep in the immigration process, but I also want to try and do this that's natural for me too, but whatever needs to get done, we want to get done. I had another question, and again, this is not a deal breaker, and I don't want to come across that I'm not totally in for this marriage and love this woman. But since I came from a second marriage and we both own some property and different things, like is it okay or is it not a good idea to have any kind of prenuptial or mutual agreement of understanding? Or
It's okay.
oh, okay, great.
They'll never know.
Well, that's right. I figured it's an agreement between two people. It's not something that gets filed, in the court system. So, okay. Is there anything we need to do to remediate her legal crossover to, into the United States?
Well, that's why I want to see the entry, because if they gave her parole, then she might be eligible to adjust. That's why that's a very important document. That makes your life a lot easier.
Okay, I definitely know we have the paperwork for the parole because, well, she gave it to me to hold on to, a PDF or whatnot. And so, but yeah, I can definitely send all that paperwork over. Yeah, so.
Thanks, Tom. Thanks for the call.
Oh, thanks. I'm glad I could bring a happy one to you.
See you, buddy.
Bye.
Tony's asking about did I ever show off the new play button? I didn't, but it's in there. So if Nora wakes up from her nap, I'll have her get it. Otherwise, I'll show it tomorrow. It did come. It's small. It's only about that big. So, but we were very excited to get the old silver play button. Mike, hello. Mike, you're on mute.
Yes. Hello. Hi, Jim.
How are you?
Good. How are you? I've been waiting for like 2 weeks. So finally. So, Mike, can you hear me?
Yeah, brother, go ahead.
So my question is basically, I'm planning to leave the country no matter what. I have 3 kids, US born. I lived here quite a while. I first came here in 88, did my elementary here, middle school back home, high school here, went back again. I've been living here without inspection maybe close to 15 years, maybe a little less. My brother is a US citizen. He filed for me, and it's going to take another 5 years. So my main question is that I know about the I-601A waiver. So if I were to do that, file for it, do the biometrics, could I leave the country and just wait another 3 years in my home country? Because that's what the timeline is. And is that acceptable, or is that going to be like a contradicting thing that you're showing extreme hardship, but you're residing in your home country? So I'm not sure what to do.
Okay, so how old is your oldest child?
He is 11.
Okay, and why are you leaving the United States?
Well, because we've been living here like this for 15 years, and we're just tired of, plus the Trump thing. And we were like, we have a little bit money saved up. Let's just move back. We have a home there. Our kid will sponsor us eventually. Before that, maybe my sibling would, but I'm trying to figure out the I-601 situation. Am I supposed to is it like a physical thing I have to take and show it at the exit while exiting the US? No. Or just like my brother or somebody else can pick it up in the mail and bring it over, even if it's not approved? Hopefully it will be approved because my parents are US citizens. And it's a weird situation. All my family is here, parents, brother, sister, my kids, but me and my wife are not legal resident. And then
what's your wife's story?
She came on a visa. I came without inspection the 3rd time. My wife came just once and on a visa, overstayed, had 3 kids, lived with me, never worked. I'm the one who works. And how am I working? I'll tell you, I have a SSN because back when I was a kid, my dad applied for asylum, and I'm using that SSN to work. I don't know if that's legal.
What happened to your dad's asylum case?
It didn't get approved back then, so we went back, and then we got a visa again. in like right before 9/11. So we got the visa, came here, went back on time. But I mean, I don't know what to do. So it's so complicated.
It's very complicated. You sound frustrated.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just a little excited too because I was not expecting to be connected. So all of a sudden, I started calling my name.
No, that's okay. You're doing fine. So I would say this. You know that if you go back right now, you have a 10-year bar on coming back.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah.
So if you leave, you have to wait for your brother's visa priority date to become current, which you said is 5 more years.
Only have 2030 or 31, I think. No, he filed in 2016. So according to that, it takes 10 to 15 years or something.
Well, what country is it?
Pakistan. Yep.
January 2020. So when did he file it?
In January 2017 or December 2016, I think.
So you're still 10 years away from that. So the waiver doesn't kick in until the visa becomes available. So if you leave, you're out for 10 years.
Okay. So if I apply for the waiver, I stay here for another year, 2 years maybe, I get it approved. So you said until the what's that called, National Visa Center, until we don't get that, so it's not going to be valid.
Well, I just think you're thinking of it a little bit differently, a little bit backwards. So number one, you're assuming, as David points out, you're assuming that it's going to be a 1-to-1 month ratio, but it's not. The timeline's getting worse and worse. So right now, if you leave the United States, forget the waiver. You keep thinking in your mind this waiver is going to solve a lot of things, but practically it doesn't. Because once you leave the United States, you can't come back until a visa becomes available to you. And right now it's at least 10 years away.
But isn't it like 2030 or 31? I mean, isn't that like
20? No, what I'm saying is that right now, today, in January of 2025, they're processing, the final action date is August of 2007. So they're working on cases from 17 years ago.
Right.
Right now, they're giving visas to people whose brothers applied for them 17 years ago.
So this could change. Even if I'm assuming 2030 or 31, it could be 2034, 35.
I don't know where you're getting 2030, 2031. I don't understand no one ever talks to me like that when it comes to visa bulletin. What I'm telling you is right now they're working on cases from 10 years ago. That number is going to get worse. So your case, as we sit here right now in January 2025, is at least 10 years away from there being a visa available for you. If you left today, you would solve your 10-year problem.
Right.
You wouldn't need the waiver 10 years from now. But the waiver doesn't get you anything if there's no visa available, and you can't apply for the waiver now anyway.
Okay. Well, I thought once you have your brother or somebody sponsored you, like you can do the waiver right away the next day. That's what I thought.
But it doesn't get you anything. It doesn't get you anything because it's going to be at least 10 or 15 years before there's a visa available with your name on it. Because of all the people in line ahead of you. So the waiver doesn't matter.
But I heard that the sibling sponsorship for my country was about 15 years. So I'm calculating it.
Dude, I'm telling you, I'm reading you from the document. It's not 15 years. It's 17 years and you're 7 years in. That means you got 10 years left.
Okay.
This idea that it's 2030 or 2031, that's just made up stuff in your head. That's not in. There's no basis in fact for that. You just keep coming back to it.
Okay, so that's not even correct information then.
That's right.
Okay, so the only choice I have is to leave, no waiver, and just wait for your son to turn 21 and he can sponsor you.
I suppose if you can't take being here anymore, that would be the answer.
But for that, I don't need a waiver, right? For that 10-year. gonna be 10 years anyway.
Yeah, 10 years with your son. Yeah.
Just live in that country, come back. All right, so I guess that's the only way possible, right?
I would encourage you not to leave the United States,
Hmm.
because here's the thing. When did you enter?
2007, 8 maybe, I don't know.
So you've been in the United States for 16 years
Hmm.
out of status.
Yeah.
No false claim to citizenship.
No.
And two parents who rely on you.
Well, my mom does. My dad, he remarried. He has his own life. Yeah.
Okay, so but you have a U.S. citizen mother who relies on you.
Yeah. Well, my brother is like, we kind of live together, but
Yeah.
he doesn't totally rely on me. But she
I guess
lives.
what I'm saying is you keep bringing up the waiver. What I'm saying is if there's going to be any hardship to anyone with you being stuck in Pakistan, it's your mom, right?
Right. Yeah.
Okay, so have you ever heard of this thing called cancellation of removal?
I did. Yeah.
You know what it is?
I mean, that's gonna take another 4 or 5 years, I guess, if we were to be in cancellation of removal.
So
And
what I'm saying is you're telling me that you're nervous about Trump and you're tired of living like this, right?
yeah.
So I'm going to flip that around on its head, okay?
Hmm.
So let's say tomorrow you turn the right-hand corner instead of the left-hand corner and you come upon ICE and they put you in removal tomorrow, right?
Right.
Okay, so now Mike is in removal. Well,
Mhm.
Mike has U.S. citizen children and Mike has a parent who would suffer hardship if Mike leaves the United States. So what I would be spending and then you could raise that as a defense for cancellation. And if you win cancellation, you would actually get a green card.
Right.
A green card.
Right. I got it. So my son, he is a special needs children, by the way. But
Children don't qualify for hardship. They're not a qualifying relative.
okay, because I thought maybe because my son can't go to Pakistan because he's a special need kid, he needs to stay here.
We would throw all that in, but I'm trying to make you feel better about being here in the United States, knowing that you have a viable defense and a path towards a green card if you end up in deportation. That's what I'm trying to tell you. And I'm trying to tell you not to leave the United States. That's what I'm trying to.
So how do I get to deportation? I can't just. I mean, how do I?
Yeah. So there were dumb lawyers in my mind, dumb lawyers who are asking people, they're telling people to file BS asylum cases so that they get into removal. But I would never ever do that, especially in Trumplandia.
Yeah.
All right. Good luck, Mike.
Okay. Thank you.
Why do you give one person so much time? Because this is my show and I do it the way I want. I like to talk to people. I like to hear their whole story. I'd rather help one person feel better about their situation than rush through and give everyone the buzz. And I guarantee you, a lot of people just learned a lot from listening to that guy. One is, as our friend UFAM says, don't self-deport, brother. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. If I spend 10 minutes talking to him and trying to convince him not to leave on his own and have a 10-year bar when he thinks he's coming back in 2030, I just did a mitzvah. I just did a nice thing by hopefully putting him in another direction of not doing something dumb by leaving the United States. So that's why I spend time talking to people for as long as it takes. And listen, that guy's carrying a lot. He's carrying a lot. He's been in the United States without permission. His parents got their shit squared away, but here he is left hanging the bag. He's got 4 kids relying on him. He and his wife are undocumented. Now we got Trump back and Thomas Homan trying to deport everyone. I'm going to listen to that son of a bitch. I'm going to do what I can and make him feel better. That's what I'm going to do. If you want to start a show, and rush everybody through, go right ahead. But this is my show, so I get to do what I want. All right, let's go to Tanya. Hello. Tanya, you're on mute.
Hello.
Hi.
Yes, this is Tanya Gonzalez. I've been listening all the good information. Doing a great job. I love everything I hear. I'm been learning. I've been waiting for 2 weeks. Thank you for your time.
Sure.
And I got this case. I been in United States from 2001. I coming from Nicaragua. I came in with visa for work at WashU University. Um, the visa was for every year we had to come back to our country, renew the visa. But in the last time we came in, we were only for like three or 4 months, and they told us we had to leave. We leave. And then what I did wrong. I went again to the embassy and asked for a visa again, and my visa still was good. They canceled my visa. And what I did, I came into for the border, no paper the last time. And then I've been working in here, and I have my 3 kids. I don't have studies. I had a social security because I came in with visa.
Sure.
And I've been keeping working with the social security. I do my taxes. I do everything. I had 3 kids, but when I had my first kid, I was in a relationship abuse. And I went to the place they call a women safe.
Mm-hmm.
And they told me they're going to give me a papers. By that time, that one was in 2006. They told me they're going to give me with papers. And I was like, don't care about because I didn't know how everything working here. I know I have my social and my driver's license. I was feeling okay. I didn't do nothing because they told me if I had to do something, maybe they had to do something the people hurt me. And I was worried about. I didn't do nothing by then. But now with this new, the president, I'm kind of worried about
Sure. Sure.
because I have my 3 kids here. I'm a single parent. I'm sorry, I feel like
You're fine.
I
Total.
have my 3 kids. I have one is like 18-year-old. She was also in victim and abuse from school. Um, but I never did nothing to the school because I don't have money. I mean, I'm just afforded 3 kids.
Yeah.
And I would like to know if there's a way to do something because it's so long be here, and also I worry about is they going to kick me out? I don't have nothing, where to go.
So, how old are your kids?
I have 18-year-old and 9 and 10.
And were any of them born in the United States?
Yeah, all 3 United States.
So the 18's a U.S. citizen.
Yes, all 3 kids. I never came back from 2004. I just stay here for big working, and how my kids.
So, I know that this is scary, and I know that this is extra pressure now with the new administration, but you obviously have proof that you've been here for more than 2 years, right?
Yes.
So you need to keep proof that you've been in the United States with your person at all times. So if you do come into contact with ICE, that they put you into removal proceedings and they don't just expedite, report, or deport you. Okay, so you need to walk around with proof that you've been here for more than 2 years. Okay.
Yes.
Now, let's say tomorrow that ICE picked you up, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to have a trial date on whether or not you get deported for probably 3 or 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So in 3 years, something magical is going to happen. Do you know what it is?
Yes, my teenager
Is going to
is
turn
going to
21,
be 21. Mm-hmm.
and they can sponsor you. So if I'm you, obviously I'm scared. Obviously I'm being careful. Obviously I'm upset. But at the end of the day, do I think Tanya G is getting deported? I do not think Tanya G is getting deported.
Okay.
And the reason for that is because I don't know how to say this. Any immigration lawyer worth their salt could make sure that whatever trial date you have would occur after your child turns 21, and you would then be able to stop the deportation as the mother of a U.S. citizen.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
So I know it's not much.
Mhm.
I know it's not much, but I hope it makes you feel a little bit better. Right now, there's nothing to do.
Mhm. Okay. Because like also after she was, beating on the school from the other people, she been depressed. I'm been working a lot with the psychiatry.
Sure.
I find a little, saying like she don't want to leave, and being hard for me.
Hey Tanya, you're in St. Louis, right?
Yes.
Send me an email, and I'll give you my cell phone number, and you can call me anytime. Okay, you can have me on speed dial, and I'll do whatever I can if anything happens to you. Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much, Doctor.
All right.
God bless you. Thank
Thank
you.
you, Tanya. Okay.
Bye.
Bye. I hate these motherfuckers. I really have been angry at the people that voted for this. I'm really angry. And I need to handle that anger a little better and to do my best. But do you know how many people there are, like those last two callers? There's people like that in houses all over the country right now. Because we were going to get cheaper eggs. Cheaper eggs. Or was it that they couldn't bring themselves to vote for a black woman? Maybe that was it. Maybe it had nothing to do with eggs. Maybe it had nothing to do with eggs. More people voted for him this time than last time. Please check out my LinkedIn today. There's an 11-year-old girl in Texas who spent the last 2 weeks being bullied. Because her parents were undocumented, and the kids all said that they were going to call ICE on her mom and dad and get them deported. This 11-year-old killed herself. She committed suicide because she couldn't stand the teasing and the bullying anymore. And she's dead. She's dead. And you have to ask yourself, if Trump hadn't gotten elected, would this girl still be alive? If Republicans had shut down his brand of hate a long time ago like they should have, would she still be alive? Can you imagine? So we have adults like Mike and Tanya who just joined the show, and we have kids who are carrying this burden when there's no border emergency, there's no rampant criminal immigrants running around. This is all fed by Trump and Republicans and hate. And it really makes me sad. I don't want to end on this, and I've got about 10 more minutes, so I'm going to keep going. And I'm going to, NA, if you turn off your camera, I'll start with you. NA is in the house. Not applicable. Hello.
Hey, Jim. How are you?
I'm good, buddy. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. I truly support all whatever you said. Jim, here's a background story. So a person applied for naturalization on December 1st, 2024. Interview scheduled for March 12th, 2025. The person was doing his taxes for 2024 and then realized that 2023 local taxes have never been filed.
Local taxes?
Yes.
Do people file tax returns, local tax returns? I guess they do. Do they? I don't know.
Yeah, so you just you just submit to local authorities how much you earned, and then you have to pay them whatever difference you owe them.
Okay. Okay.
So what is the best course of action? Because that when person was filling up the application, the person had submitted that that person has never failed to pay any federal, state, and local taxes.
Yeah. Okay. So first of all, can the person pay the local taxes between now and the interview date?
I'm sorry, Jim. Can you repeat the question?
Sure. Can the person pay the local taxes that are owed before the interview date?
Yeah, sure. That's a small, like $60.
Yeah, I figured. So I would go pay that, and then I would tell the officer, "Hey, I didn't know about this taxes. Here's my $60 that I just paid. Here's the receipt." And I'm sorry I answered that question incorrectly. They'll just make a correction. It's no big deal.
Okay, that sounds great. And also one more question before I go, Jim. What is so? What normally you bring for naturalization? For naturalization interview, like your green card.
Green card. Yep, green card. Any work cards that you've had. Your tax transcripts. You don't need a lot. The whole shooting match is the green card. You don't need a lot when it comes to your naturalization interview. Most people. Are you doing the 3-year rule or the 5-year rule?
This actually, after 1 year of receiving the green card, it's a military based.
Okay. Yeah. So, but you got the green card based on marriage?
Correct.
I'd bring some updated marital evidence, and I'd bring your spouse if you can. If you're in the same town, I would do that.
Sure. Yep. I can do that. Yep.
Good luck, and thank you for your service.
Thanks so much. Thank you, Jim. And hopefully I'll get back to you and you can add me to the list of 10,000 people you help for naturalization.
That made me very happy.
We'll see, inshallah.
Inshallah. See you, brother.
Yep. Have a
Oh, you gotta love those military cases that turn into citizenship. Let's talk to Ashley. Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Great. What's up?
Okay, so long story. Me and my husband got married. He came here illegally. We got married in 2013. He had already been placed into removal proceedings because of a train ticket that he didn't have. They brought him into jail and ICE got a hold of him. So we immediately got married, filed the I-130, which was approved. Then something happened where he was robbed in Charlotte, and so the attorney advised us that it would be better to file for the U visa. So we did that in 2016. We hadn't heard anything back since then. It's now showing an error with the receipt number, so the attorney's supposed to be looking into that situation. He also has an approved VAWA petition, but he has a final order of removal after an attorney completely botched his appeal.
Wait a minute. Where'd the VAWA piece come in?
He got an approved VAWA petition a year and a half ago.
From you?
Yes.
Are you still married?
Yes, we're still married.
The I-130 still pending?
The I-130 petition was approved before the VAWA.
So to me, this seems like somebody who's desperate to stay in America and will file anything to stay in America. Why in the world are you making this more complicated than it is? You're filing every kind of case there is.
I think so it wasn't, we didn't even know what the VAWA petition was.
What?
We didn't even know what that was brought to from our attorney, because we had a rocky relationship after a couple of years, and that's when that came to light. But the U visa is still showing error. What we're worried about right now, we just had a son after 12 years of infertility, and
Congratulations.
I'm sorry. My mom passed away, and I don't want to lose my husband too.
Well, I'm sorry about your mom, and I'm happy about your child. I'm worried about your husband because so nobody is playing quarterback for this person's immigration status. You guys are just throwing everything up on the wall. I got this I-130, I got VAWA, I got a U visa. You've overwhelmed them with choices, and when the mind is overwhelmed, it makes no decision. And that's true of USCIS. You guys have literally filed everything under the sun. And I guess I need to do a video that says, if you're trying to get a VAWA case and you still live with your spouse, they're going to be very, very suspicious.
Yeah.
So,
the VAWA was approved. The petition was approved.
Well, I understand that, but I'm worried that you said my lawyer thought up the VAWA case. I mean, that tells me that you guys aren't necessarily even fully aware of what's being done in your name.
Well, like I said, it was after my mom passed away, we kind of had like a
rocky relationship. But
yes.
Did the VAWA case make it seem like you guys weren't living together anymore?
No. That was we still they know we still live together and everything else.
Okay, so what's the question for me?
My question is, because we're waiting on, my attorney filed a joint motion to reopen.
Yeah.
Or his attorney, because the first appeal was it was denied for his order of removal. So he has a final order of removal. My question is will he be okay? Like, we're just super worried because his attorneys are hard to get a hold of.
Well, Trump's people say they're just going to start executing orders. So I think there's a chance he gets deported. Yeah.
Right.
I don't know for sure, but I mean, this is a mess.
Yeah.
I don't know what's real and what's not. I mean, if they filed VAWA, they're saying that you abused him.
Right.
But you're still living together and having a kid, and you still have an I-130. None of this makes much sense to me.
Right.
So I think, again, I don't think they know what to do because you've just thrown so much at them.
Right. I mean, yeah, we're not the professionals, we didn't.
Well, that may be, but you guys signed everything you signed under oath that everything was true.
Right. I mean, it is all true. It's just, I don't know. This has been going on.
This is a first, because I've never had the alleged VAWA perpetrator call this show to ask about their spouse's VAWA case.
Right.
That's bizarre.
Right. I mean, like I said, it was a rocky point in our relationship, and we've since then, things have changed, but it's just like,
yeah, but
now we have a kid.
Nobody told USCIS that.
Right.
They're not going to believe the things that you guys said. Good luck, Ashley.
Thank you.
All right. I thought we were going to get some happy notes. No real happy notes at the end of the show, but what are you going to do? All right. As Brent said, we do our show most days, and we'll be back tomorrow at 3:00, same time. Thank you, Hina, for all your help. And Hina's right. Kamala was a woman and black and Indian. I forgot to mention that. But that just messed Whitey's head up even more than Obama's brown suit. So what the hell are you gonna do? All right. They have an immigration lawyer, UFAM. This was a weird show. Thank you, Raphael. I needed that. You're right. This was a weird show. Big ups to all the yardies. We'll be back tomorrow. Thanks everybody for watching. Be kind to each other. Try to be kind to someone today because there's so much negative energy. It's like we need Superman to fly around the country and turn things backwards and get that negative energy and send it into outer space. Don't forget, Superman Returns this summer. It's going to be great. I can't wait to see it. My kids can't believe how excited I am. Amani says I should wear my Superman costume, which I have one, to the Superman premiere, and I think I'm going to. Brent says be sure to like and subscribe. And more importantly, if you want to ask me a question, you better text the word show to 314-470-3300. Hina and I, it's gotten so crazy with the people filling up the waiting room that we literally have to get into the waiting room before we send out the text because it fills up instantaneously, as Kramer would say. Have a good night, guys. See ya.
I'm great about that, other than trying to help people who are in the state of